Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're tackling a massive, literally global point of confusion. It's a topic that kind of sneaks up on us almost every time we reach for a dessert menu, grab a quick afternoon soda, or, even just glance at the nutrition label on a box of cereal. We're talking about the sugar-diabetes connection. There is just so much information out there, and frankly, a lot of it is totally tangled up in misconceptions. So my goal today is to unravel all that for you using exactly what the science tells us, step by step. Let's get right into it. Does eating sugar cause diabetes? I mean, it's the ultimate question, isn't it? It's that little whisper in the back of your mind every single time you grab a sweet treat. We've all been conditioned to link the sugar we eat directly to the disease itself. Okay, let's dive into this, because the actual truth of the matter, it honestly surprises a lot of people. Short answer, no. I really want that to sink in for a second. No. Eating sugar all by itself is not the main cause of diabetes, period. But, well, as with everything in human biology, the long answer is a bit more nuanced. While eating a single piece of candy isn't suddenly flipping a diabetes switch in your body, regularly consuming huge amounts of sugary foods and drinks absolutely can increase your risk. But, and this is key, it does so indirectly. To understand exactly how that indirect pathway works, we've got to clear up some foundational definitions first. All right, Section 1, the big sugar myth. Let's unravel the sweet confusion. And this brilliantly illustrates the core difference between the two main types. First up, we have type 1 diabetes. Now, this is an autoimmune disease. In type 1, the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the insulin-producing cells right in the pancreas. So, does eating sugar cause it? Absolutely not. It is completely 100% unrelated to diet or your lifestyle. Now, on the flip side, let's look at type 2 diabetes. This is the one most people are actually thinking of when they worry about their sugar intake. Type 2 is caused by a really complex combo of factors: genetics, family history, aging, physical inactivity, and poor overall diet. But a massive driver here is excess body weight, especially around the abdomen, and a condition called insulin resistance. So, does sugar cause type 2 directly? No. But, and this is a really big but, frequently consuming sugary drinks, sweets, and high-calorie processed foods absolutely contributes to those other risk factors. Which brings us to Section 2. The pathway to type 2, and how sugar actually plays its part. So if sugar isn't a direct cause, why in the world do we constantly blame it? Let's move to and see how this builds, because there's a core mechanical domino effect happening here that you really need to understand. Step 1, you consume excess calories. Often this comes from sugar-sweetened beverages or highly processed foods, right? And that gives your body way more energy than it actually needs. Step 2, that excess energy leads to weight gain, specifically packing on excess body fat. And then, step 3, that excess fat leads to insulin resistance. So you see, it's an indirect chain reaction. The sugar didn't cause the diabetes directly. The sugar caused the caloric surplus, which caused the weight gain, which then triggered the insulin resistance. I really want to emphasize this exact quote directly from our source material because it cements this biological link perfectly. It says, excess body fat, particularly around the waist, makes it harder for your body to use insulin effectively. This right here, this is the true danger zone. It's not just weight anywhere on the body. It's that abdominal fat, that belly fat, that actively interferes with your body's mechanical ability to process the food you're eating. All right, Section 3, the rusty lock. Let's visualize insulin resistance. Okay, I want you to think of the sugar in your bloodstream as fuel. Your body cells desperately need this fuel to function, right? But the cells are locked. Insulin is the key that unlocks those cells to let that fuel inside. Now, in type 1 diabetes, the body stops making insulin entirely, so there is simply no key. The fuel is locked out. But in type 2 diabetes, you have the key and you have the lock. The problem is the lock has become rusty. Literally, this is what we call insulin resistance. The key just doesn't turn well anymore, so all that sugar fuel gets trapped out in the bloodstream instead of actually going into the cells where it belongs. So the crucial point here is this. Eating a piece of candy doesn't just instantly rust the lock. Eating too much sugar doesn't create that rusty lock all by itself. What rusts the lock is a long-term unhealthy lifestyle. High sugar intake contributes to the rust mainly by promoting that weight gain and inactivity over a long period of time. Moving on to Section 4, the bigger picture, looking beyond the sugar bowl. If we zoom out for a second, we realize that diabetes risk is a holistic lifestyle issue. It is just way too simplistic to demonize the sugar bowl sitting on your kitchen counter while ignoring everything else happening in your life. Consider all the things that actually determine your overall risk. Yes, maintaining a healthy body weight is right at the top. And for sure, a balanced diet is critical. Eating lots of veggies, whole grains, legumes, healthy fats, and lean protein. But look at what else is in the mix here. Regular physical activity, managing your stress, getting enough sleep. Surprisingly, even just a few nights of poor sleep can temporarily increase your body's insulin resistance. Crazy, right? These are major factors completely within your daily control that dictate exactly how well your body's locks function. And then, down at the bottom, we have family history and genetics. Obviously, you can't control that, you can't change your genes, but by focusing on the active lifestyle factors you can control, you're basically actively polishing up those locks, regardless of your genetic hand. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it applies to folks who already have diabetes, because having diabetes does not mean you can never, ever eat sugar again. Let me repeat that, because it's huge. You do not have to banish sweetness from your life entirely. The real key here is strategic management. It's about controlling your portion sizes. It's about counting your total carbohydrates, not just the sugar content. Because remember, all carbs eventually break down into fuel anyway. It's about working with a healthcare provider on a solid meal plan and really vigilantly monitoring your blood glucose levels to see exactly how your unique body reacts. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this final, kind of empowering question to chew on. Are you treating your body's locks with care? Remember, eating sugar is not the direct, solitary cause of diabetes. Type 2 diabetes develops from a whole combination of genetics, excess weight, inactivity, and long-term lifestyle factors. So instead of just fearing a single ingredient, look at the whole picture. Are you moving your body? Are you managing your stress levels? Are you being mindful of those empty calories that lead to waistline fat? By focusing on your holistic health, you can absolutely keep your body's system running smoothly and keep those locks turning effortlessly. Thank you so much for joining me to unravel this fascinating topic today. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.